Hey guys, Ryu here with another video for Blender. In this one we're gonna be designing some cool shape, like a mechanical joint shape with add-ons. I'm gonna be using HardOPs and Boxcutter. And speaking of HardOPs and Boxcutter, if you would like to master these add-ons, we have a fantastic course, and I believe that's the only course on the market that actually covers them in such depth. And it's called Ultimate Guide to HardOPs and Boxcutter. Check out the bundles as well, because we always bundle our courses with some interesting deals on which you can save a lot of money. And if you would really like to push your add-on hard surface workflow, we have a membership on our website called Blender Bros Coaching and Community, and you have access to, I think now 13 courses or something like that immediately. Tons of decal packs and trim sheets, as well as the community, which is amazing, great people, and also 15% discount on upcoming courses. And speaking of upcoming courses, there is a fantastic course coming very soon. We are literally wrapping things up. Now this course is gonna be amazing. Not just the modeling is gonna be way more advanced than the previous course. So we're gonna teach you how to create, an AAA quality game asset, but also the workflow is gonna be so universe and so flexible that you can apply it to any other game asset you wish. And there are going to be some really unique bonuses for pre-orders as well. A course should be out very soon. All the links are in the video description, so check them out. Okay, let's get back into it. And I'm going to be using Mesh Machine too, but mainly for mirroring, so you can actually use HardOPs for this. Mesh Machine just much easier and much faster. So anyway, I want to create sort of like a joint, like a mechanical joint. So we're going to start with the socket. So let's just add a cube. And I want to create kind of like a U-shape sort of an item with two holes in it and a cutout in the middle. So I'm going to use a cube for that. So let's just grab that cube and scale it, and then scale it in Y. Maybe that's too much. Something like this, maybe a bit narrower, maybe a bit wider but taller, so kind of like that. Okay, Control A and apply scale. And now we're going to grab these two edges with Shift and Control B them. Now if your bevel gonna overshoot like this, just press C to clamp it, scroll your mouse and see on the bottom here we got number of segments. We want to use an even number of segments. I would say maybe 10 will do. You want to use even number of segments because when you want to change the resolution of the bevel to a smaller one, you can easily do that by selecting all the bevels, all the edges in the middle of that bevel, and you can, half this resolution basically of any bevel, really. Okay, so you want even number of segments and uneven number of edges. Now we got some double edges here, double verts in the middle. So what we can do is go to edit mode and press 3 with machine tools to clean that. We also have this edge in the middle here, which is marked, and it's probably marked sharp or something. Let's see here. Yeah, if you go to Control tilde menu with HardOPs, you can see we got apply crease, B weight, and sharp. We can clean that by simply recalculating sharpen. So press Q and Shift Control click, which will remove all the edges and then reapply them to all edges above 30 degrees. So that's that. Now here we probably gonna do the same thing. So we could actually mirror this. With Mesh Machine it's really easy. You're simply pressing Alt X and you move your mouse to the left and it's gonna symmetrize it. Now you could do this with HardOPs by going to edit object mode and Alt X and then simply D, symmetry, and the same thing, right? Just Mesh Machine is quicker. D, and let's grab a box and we're going to slash it here. Let me think. I want to slash it somewhere here like this. And we could create a bevel here, but smaller. So let's create, I would say, 8 segments here, maybe like this. Okay, cut it. And then I want to create another one here, much bigger. So let's go with, yeah, 10 segments will do. Boom, right? Something like that. Now here we're gonna have some shading problems because we're overshooting a bevel. So what we're gonna do before we apply these booleans, we want to run some edges so we can, utilize the fact that we still have quads on this mesh. So let's just secure that. Again, Alt X with mesh machine to the other side, so we're gonna mirror that. We could add some loops here, but not necessary because this cutout here is on a flat surface, so it's not gonna cause a problem. The only problem we're gonna see is here, okay? So let's grab this edge and, GX and just move it a little bit closer here. And this one too, GX, move it in here. Cool, all right? And we could also slash this here in half. So we could run a cut here like this. Press K for knife and slash it. And now let's apply this. So we're going to go to Smooth Apply. And I'm going to select this edge here, all right? And I'm going to run a chamfer on it. But before we do that, we need to remove this edge because you see, this edge is falling at a very steep angle towards this edge here, right? So it's about like what, 30 degrees, 25. You don't want that because when you start running edges or bevels on this one here, let me just run something here, right? Just press C to unclamp it, you see? You're gonna get these pulls, okay? Even though you can go here and turn off loop slide, you'll still get some problems. So the easiest way to do this is simply, dissolve it because we don't need that edge. And we quite frankly don't need this edge either, so we can dissolve this one too. Here, dissolve it. And we don't need this one too, dissolve it. Perfect. So now grab this edge here all around, right? And here too, we don't need that junk. We can dissolve it. There you go, that's better. There's some double edge here in the middle. That's interesting. This is after symmetry, but I wonder why there are two of them. I think this one is from symmetry. This one is from the bevel. Let's remove this one and let's try this again. There we go. Let's remove these two and leave the one in the middle. Perfect. So let's grab this edge here, all of it, right? And let's chamfer it like that. And we're going to mirror to the other side, so Alt X and boom. And we can sharpen this with Control. Cool. Now let's apply some bevel, but not the big one, just a small one, a really tiny one. So you're gonna, when you apply a smaller bevel, you're gonna look a bit more machined. Now these outer bits here, let's just press F for face. This could have a bigger bevel, so kind of like that, and then mirror to the other side. So now in the middle here, okay, on this side, I want to cut a hole through it, right? So now, to make sure that it's perfectly in the middle of this shape, of this face, we're gonna run a loop here. So select these two, right? And we're gonna select these two and run an edge here. And then with this vert in the middle, what I can do is go to snap dot with Boxcutter, switch to circle, and make sure you're in object orientation. So Shift V object, hold Control, and then you can draw this shape in the middle. And we need to switch from knife to cut. So one more time, and draw it. And now on the top here, you can see a number of verts. So if you hold Shift and scroll your mouse, you can, get more verts. I would say 50 is good. I'll just cut it through and shift click. And now you see that it's perfectly in the middle, right? So now I'm gonna grab this face. You can do this with Boxcutter when you're cutting, but in this case, I'm gonna do it manually. Alt N and flip this face and Control B and chamfer it. So we're gonna get a chamfer here, like that, okay? Cool. Shift D this cutter and scale it out, alright, like that, right? And we're going to slash it, so select that and booleans and slash, right? One more time, grab this cutter and Shift D and, scale it some more, like this. And we're going to cut it, so let's cut the top and the bottom of it like this. Mirror to the other side, the symmetry, so Alt X, press X to reset the mirror, and mirror to the top. Let's Alt H and recover these two cutters, okay, this one and this one, right? Let's go to local view, and I want to boolean them together, so let's apply boolean here, so operation smooth apply. Shift select this one and booleans and unions. So we're gonna union this boolean, okay? So now that cut here, you see, is connected, which is pretty cool, right? So now we can alt click on sharpen, PG, and let me see that. That's cool. So now let's apply this. So control click on sharpen, SX and scale it in. Select this shape and we're gonna apply that. So operations multiply. I'm gonna grab this edge here and this one here. And we're gonna run a small chamfer here. Like that. Okay. And let's go back. Lovely. Let's just copy that to the other side. Copy this one to the other side. And here, this is actually fine. Cool. Okay. We could cut this one here in the middle. So let's grab an end gun. And we're going to slice it like this here, okay? Like that. Hard slice. Does it look good? No, it looks like shit. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna slice this here instead. We're gonna slice this here. A really thin one. Okay, like this. This is gonna introduce some interesting dynamics here. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now here in the front we're gonna create another cut. So let's do the same thing here. Let's run an edge here like this, and this cut here is gonna be smaller. Okay, so D circle, and let's make a smaller cut here. Let's see how it looks. Let's just cut it through. Okay, let's add some loops here because reasons, right? Can add a lot of them if you want to. It's gonna be a bit more supportive in terms of cut here, and we definitely need some edge here. So we will think about that. But before we do that, let's recover this cutter. Let's grab this one and GG and move it outside here. Control B to split it, and Q and Alt and macro. That's actually too wide. SX and scale it in. Yeah, and then Q and Alt and macro and cut it inside like this. Okay, it's gonna be interesting. That's really cool. Awesome. Cool. Now let's apply that. So operations multiply. Let's grab this edge here, and we're going to chamfer it. So Control B, copy to the other side. That's nice. This could actually be a bit more aggressive. So let's go back. Let's grab this edge, GG, move it a little bit here, and try this again. Yeah, that's much better. It's a bit more aggressive over there. It's cool. Sweet. Let's just go here to options, input, and right mouse button to cancel angle. We're gonna use angle here to cut it, and we're going to cut it just a little bit like that. And I'm going to slice it through. Press X 3 times for inset, T for solidification, and move your mouse and find this sweet spot. You could shift click it, right? Shift click it and select the cutter and adjust the solidification here manually. Hopefully it's gonna work. Yeah, this one's gonna be tricky. Hang on. There we go. Just have to move it a little bit. Sometimes if the boolean doesn't work, you know, just move it a bit. And let's see how we're looking. We're looking pretty interesting actually here. We're looking pretty interesting. That is an interesting shape, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna copy to the other side. So let's just have a scroll that and click this one with Shift Alt X and mirror to the top as well. That is freaking badass, dude. So we can still have some interesting shape here in the middle. Now you see we might get some sheeting pulls here in this area, but what we can do is, you know, run this before we apply the cutter. So this is going to support all these edges except for this one here. But we can run another one here really close, you know, and sort it, you know. And this should hold the sheeting, okay? So that's pretty awesome. And here we could have some cuts in the middle. So we could have some cuts here. For example, you know, something like this. Could be a straight cut here. One more time. One cut here, press B. This is too big of a bevel, so make it smaller. Something like this. Okay. Cut it in. Shift T for taper and taper it a bit. How are we looking? We're looking pretty good. So ever scroll this. Shift DY, move it in here. RZ 180 and then RY90. No, RY 180. There we go. And GY and move it in here. And let's mirror this. There we go. And cut it difference. So it's, you know, the same height and size. You don't have to guess, you know, and estimate. That's pretty cool, actually. I really like that. Cool. All right. Then we can create some small notches on it. So let's just go to D and we could create some small notches on this shape. Now we got some interesting pull here on this area. Alright, cool. Let's apply this. So sharpen and let's go to smart apply, and we're gonna fix this malarkey here. Let's just, you know, move it in here. That is creating some really interesting problems. Let's go to occlude and see what the hell is going on. It's not a vert here. Let's just delete these verts. Can we do that? No, we can't. Okay. Let's combine it in here. There's an interesting edge connection going here, which is something we don't really need. So let's dissolve that. That worked perfectly. And we need to do this in the bottom too, because I cannot mirror this to the bottom because of these cuts in the middle. So let's just, you know, do that and this, and then simply select these two edges, dissolve, and then mirror to the other side with the mesh machine. Done. Let's turn this pass through. Let's run operation smart apply, and let's run a sharpen here. So control click on sharpen. We're going to select this bit and control plus this, and we're going to, let me see that. Let's apply another ring here like this. Now one more time, control plus this and alt S, and we're gonna scale it inside like this. This is gonna be interesting, I think. Right, select this edge here, Y with mesh machine, and I'll select, which will select the whole loop, and we're going to chamfer this a little bit. Let's recover this cutter here, so Alt H and Shift 2, grab this cutter. We can scale it and, you know, boolean and slash. So we're gonna slash this shape here in the middle, and we can sharpen this, select this edge here, Y, and I'll select and, you know, just chamfer this here and chamfer this one here as well. Or we could actually bevel it. Like that. This is gonna be interesting. Alright. Yep. Now we got some beef here with shading. See what's happening here. Just press 3 to clean it. We got too many edges here. So let's just delete verts here on this one. Oh, this will not work. Hang on, what the hell is going on here? What is this? Dissolve edge. There we go. Grab this one, GX, and just move it in here and sharpen it. And this should solve the situation. Mirror to the other side. Done. We still got some weird shading here going on. I wonder what it is. There's this shape in the middle. Let's grab that. Let's go to edit mode. Select this bit here. And let's just delete that because we don't need it. So dissolve face, delete faces. What the hell is going on here, man? Delete faces, and then we're going to bridge it. So select this one, Alt. Okay, we got some problem here. Let me see that. What the hell is that? Delete the verts. Cool. We got too many edges here. We don't need this edge here, I think. No, we do. We don't need this edge here, so we can dissolve it. There we go. And then we can select this ring here with Alt and Shift. Alt click this one. Right click Loop Tools and Bridge. Okay, and then mirror to the other side. And we don't need this one either, guys. So dissolve, right? We're looking good. You could scale this inside like that to make it more interesting from this side, and we can create some interesting cuts here. So, you know, boom, and chamfer it, and mirror it, create some cuts here in the top. Awesome. Could have some wedge cuts here, so we got long ones maybe, and then we could have another cut here on the front. So cut here maybe on this side to make it more interesting. Mirror to the other side. That's really cool. Here as well in the front we could have a bit more cuts here, so you could slice this whole thing. Boom, like that. That's really interesting. It's gonna add some flair to it. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Select this one in the middle and let's scale them a little bit. Move them here and then Alt and macro. There we go. And we're going to select this one in the middle. Actually both of them and chamfer them. And mirror to the other side. It's gonna create a bit more interest here in the middle, which is cool. Here we could have the cut as well on the side. One here. One on the other side, very tiny ones. It's gonna be really nice. So Control B and Alt and macro, and boom. See, that creates a lot of interest. Could have some more cuts here on sides, so that'll do. And maybe some cuts here. Shift the object and nearest edge. There we go. And we could definitely use some wedges in here. So press W, hold Control for perfect wedge. There is some vert problem here which we need to fix. So there we go. I don't know what the hell is this, but we can fix this. And mirror. Awesome. This is what? This is from some mirror, but I think it's already applied, so we can remove it. Awesome. Here too, we could have two cuts. Like this, and then Alt and macro. We could have actually ridges like this. This would be interesting. Now you see that harsh edge here, we can remove that. It's basically caused by sharp edge, so select everything and go to edge mode and simply clear sharp, which will smooth out this bevel here. You don't really need sharp edges here because we have weighted normals, so yeah, that looks pretty cool. This interior here could be more interesting, so we could simply select this one here, like that. And then Shift Curve Extract like this, right? And simply grab these and EY and extrude them here. All the way actually, or maybe somewhere here, and then EX and move them outside. Okay, GX, and you know, and then when you apply this, so sharpen this, all you need to do is basically grab that and bevel it and copy to the other side. Let's clean the geo. So Q and clean mesh, which will clean all this junk here on the top. And we could slice that, you know. So we could slice it in here like this. And we could slice it in the bottom. Like that. Right. So it's gonna create some interest here, kind of like a socket, you know. So I think we're looking pretty good, guys. So you can see that, you know, you can create some really interesting things very quickly with, you know, just a bit of cuts out of the cube. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and give us a like and sub if you did. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.